ICM Statistics video project by Shelby, Will, and Alex.
We took a survey of 100 Panther Creek seniors based on the question, how many hours a night do you study?
We surveyed 100 Panther Creek seniors to analyze the graduating class habits.
We collected our data using the method of convenient sampling. We chose this method because it was the easiest way to survey 100 students in an efficient manner.
To collect our data, we chose to survey 100 people from the entire senior class population.
The whole population can be represented by the sample of people who answered the survey question saying they studied 0 hours each night. The sample of the data can represent the entire senior class population because 0 was the most common answer according to our data results.
By collecting quantitative data, it makes it a little easier to find a number, or rather a percentage, to represent different efforts or habits of the Panther Creek senior class.
By studying and collecting data to research this topic, we will be able to find a statistical number of what PCHS senior study habits are like.
Finding the outcome or results for this question allows us to develop inferential statistics about the senior class. These inferential statistics, calculated or predicted, are a good way to make inferences or describe with data as evidence what the senior class study habits are like.
We could also use stratified sampling to represent this data because the population of people who were surveyed can be put into different groups based on different categories.
Certain groups can be picked to represent different categories being based on how scholarly or unscholarly they are through the use of cluster sampling. This sampling will show a differentiation between the different types of students. With cluster sampling, the students are classified into different groups, but everyone in the population is represented.
A frequency table to show the different categories or levels of effort students have shown based on the information we collected. Each new interval can be named something different to show variation between each group.
The measures of central tendency are the mean, median, and mode. The mean represents the average amount of hours the senior class spends studying each night, which is 1.5 hours. The median of the data set is 1 hour, and the mode of the data set is 0. The mode is the best measure of central tendency to represent the data because the average is a value that best represents the majority of the people surveyed.
The measures of spread are the range and the quartiles. The range is 5.5 hours. The lower quartile for the data is 1 hour. The median quartile for the data is also 1 hour. And the upper quartile for the data is 2. The interquartile range is 2 hours studying.
Variance, to find variance, we find the mean of the data set, which is 1.5. Then you subtract the mean from each data value, and that result is called deviation from the mean. Then you square each deviation of the mean term, and then you find the sum of all terms, which is 191.75. And you divide the total sum by the number of terms, n minus 1, and 191.75 divided by 99 is 1.94.
The standard deviation is found by finding the variance value, which is 1.94, and taking the square root of that is the standard deviation, which is 1.39.
This pie chart represents the data we collected. 28% of students spent 0 hours studying, and the least common amount of hours studying was 6 hours.
This is our normal distribution graph. It starts in the middle at the mean 1.5 and increments to the left and right 1.39 because that's our standard deviation.